Probably won't cry. Sorry. So, some of you may know that I kind of like Disney. I don't know. But when I was in 7th grade, my mom and I went with a friend of hers to Disneyland. And, well, I've never been to Disneyland, but I've been to Disney World countless of times. And just to let you know, you can't switch the names. Disney World is in Florida and Disneyland is in California. And they're completely different parks. They have the same layout, but they're different. They're different. And at Disneyland, there's one ride where you have to ride. And some of you may know it, it's called the It's a Small World ride. My favorite dolls are the ones that you can tell that they've been there for a while. And so they're like, okay, come on. Get it, go. It's a small world, go. But you might not know this, but in 2009, there was, the ride broke down, and a man was stuck on the ride in the goodbye room for 40 minutes with the dolls waving goodbye, singing the It's a Small World ride. I don't know, that's one of the scariest things that could ever happen in life. Now, one thing that the It's a Small World ride doesn't have, that Keith has, well, they both have diversity. But Keith, it's more than just dolls dressed in garbs. I don't know. But at Keith, throughout the years I've been there, every race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, every hair color of the rainbow, every purple, blue, is out there in our school. And it's been nurtured. That's the point of Keith, is that Keith is very important to me. I don't think I could have gotten to where I've been without Keith. That's one thing I'll never forget about Keith, about the diversity, is that it opened my eyes to a much more complicated world than a 97% Caucasian town of 1,100 people. And the best part about Keith is that differences aren't a big deal. Every school I've attended or visited, every camp I've been in, they always try to stress that they're accepting, but having to talk about acceptance isn't what makes a place accepting. It's not having to talk about it. At Keith, we're more worried that our Latin translation is completely wrong than anything else. Seriously though, disappointing Dr. Martin is the worst feeling in the world. She has this very slight sigh of disappointment that makes you want to just shrivel up into a ball. You know someone is a good teacher when you both love them and fear them, and most importantly, want to be the best you can be for them. I also want to take the moment and throw out all modesty and humility and just say, guys, and Keith, we are awesome. Seriously though, I feel like Keith's biggest problem is that we're too modest, and then we forget about all the cool things we do. With a high school class of less than 100 kids, we still manage to be the top or very close to the top in everything we do. Besides basketball and girls soccer, I don't know. Everyone here already knows it, but it doesn't hurt to repeat that our little school on a hill won girls volleyball state 2 years in a row. Not to mention that we're the only... Not to mention that we're the only school ever in Rockford history to have won state even once. Boys soccer made it to state playoffs twice, and although Relo sadly lost my MVP award, I will carry on with my head held high and my soccer cleats very far away. Various theater shows have been brought down to state to Theater Fest, and I've had the privilege in acting in 2 of them, and numerous individuals have gone through the stressful and rigorous all-state band and choral auditions to perform alongside other gifted teenagers in their respective fields. I also can't think of a school that takes 3 days off of homework and focuses completely on one subject, which isn't even graded. Really though, interim is one of the coolest aspects of Keith, and people forget about it all the time. So I personally would like to thank the interim committee for all the amazing interims I've had throughout my Keith career. You won't top studying the 60s, but they're all really cool. I also can't think of a school that understands the importance of the arts as much as Keith does. While other schools have completely cut funding for their arts programs, Keith is getting a brand new theater. A few years late, in my opinion, but it's fine, and I'm not bitter. And while I'm on the arts, I would also like to personally thank all my teachers for allowing me to experience theater firsthand. I know field trips take up valuable class time, but I do truly believe that classes in the arts can't just be studied, they have to be experienced. And sure, I feel very blessed to have gone to a school that actually cares about the arts. With all these examples, I guess what I'm trying to say is appreciate what you have. Every year, and especially in senior year, you kind of forget how wonderful of a gift a Keith education is. A lot of kids complain about random stuff about the school, and I agree it's not perfect, but I'm also one who takes the bad with the good. If all you do is focus on the bad, you'll miss out on so many opportunities to be happy and content with what you have. And your parents are paying too much money, and these teachers care too much for you not to try your hardest. And I would like to finish up with some real advice to the incoming freshmen out there. Not inspirational stuff, but real advice. You have to start thinking about college now, and I am not kidding. Since I just went through, and my class just went through the torture known as college applications, I know that everything you do will affect how colleges look at you. Transcripts do not forget high school semester grades, believe me. And being president of some random club goes a long way too. And I think one of the most important things to add is, do something cool over the summer. Colleges can tell on your application if all you do over summer is watch Netflix. And one very last thing. Your class and my class are going to be freshmen at the same time. And I know it's a little scary to think about how much these next few years will shape our lives, but there's one thing I know that will keep me grounded, no matter what. It will never be stuck in the It's a Small World Ride's goodbye room for 40 minutes scary. Thank you.